Hey guys, Ike here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. We're here today to do a review on the Mossberg Patriot. Okay, so before we get into the features on this gun, something I wanted to just put a disclaimer out here. This is not something I'm going to do a lot of. I don't plan on turning this into a gun channel, but I have gotten more and more into firearms lately, and I'm getting into reloading a little bit, so I thought I would share some things that I'm doing with you guys, you know, that are still hunting related and still outdoor related, not just archery. But this is not something that I'm going to do a lot of. One, my wife won't let me go out and buy a bunch of guns, and I don't have the money to do that, so I would love to, but that's not what this channel is all about. The main reason that I am doing this Mossberg Patriot review is because I couldn't find a really good in-depth review on this gun when I went out and bought it. I did find a couple reviews out there that weren't bad, and I found one review that said this gun was just horrible, and I found a couple other reviews that were saying this gun was just great. And I was really hesitant to buy this gun at first, but with all the features that this gun has at this price point, I went ahead and pulled the trigger, and literally pulled the trigger, and in the long run, I'm really happy that I have. Now, this is the 6.5 Creedmoor version of this Mossberg Patriot, and it is a feature-packed gun at a budget price. So let's go ahead and let's get into all the features of this Mossberg Patriot. Okay, so the Patriot comes in a couple different versions, and the one that I bought is the synthetic stock with the stainless barrel. Now we're going to talk about that barrel here in a minute. They also have this with a wood stock and a matte barrel on it, and they also have it in a combination with a Vortex scope, which I had a Vortex scope already, and that's why I didn't buy that setup. Now the Vortex Crossfire 2 is a really good scope, and it's actually what I have on here. I have the 4-12 by 50. It's probably too much scope for me for this gun, so I may end up changing it out. That's why it's not on there right now. I may end up going to a 3x9 instead of that big 4-12. This has a 5+1 capacity on here, and it has a box magazine. I like this magazine. This magazine goes in and out really, really nicely. It does have plastic side versus something like the Axis that has the metal sides on here, but this thing goes in and out smoothly. It pops in, pops out, no problems, and it loads and does not jam. At least it has not jammed for me in the rounds that I have put through it. It loads into the gun nice. It loads the bullets out into the chamber and into the barrel nicely as well. So I like the magazine on this gun. So this gun has a lot of features that you will not find on guns in this price range. Most of them are going to have the synthetic stock and the, you know, the detachable magazine and things like that. But this has some things you're not going to find in something like a Savage Axis or even in a Ruger American, which I have and I love. This has a fluted barrel on it. The barrel is also crowned, and this has the checkered or the, I don't know what you call it, fluted or checkered bolt on here as well, which I don't know how much that really adds to it, but it is a nice smooth action. This gun is clear. This gun has been clear before we started this video. Has a nice smooth action, pops in, pops out, no problem with the bolt. The bolt is really, really nice, and overall the gun has those few features on it that are nice to have on a gun in this price range. This also has an adjustable trigger on this thing. The trigger is adjustable from 2 to 7 pounds. I have played with it a little bit, and I've got it down toward the lower side, but not quite down to the 2-pound range. I've got it about 3.5 pounds right now, and I like the trigger in it. It has a nice crisp trigger pull, and it feels really nice. This has the Weaver style bases on here. It also has the thumb safety up on top, and you can see you can engage that safety at any point with your bolt open and your bolt closed, and you actually does not lock your bolt in with that safety. So I kind of like that as well. This also, now we're talking about this barrel, talking about the stainless barrel. This is not a stainless barrel. What this is this is a Cerakoted barrel. You'll find this on a lot of bows out there. You guys who watch my channel and see bows, you'll find this on a lot of bows out there. It's a good, tough finish, but this is not a stainless barrel. I've owned a few rifles in my life that have had a stainless barrel on them, and they're fantastic, but this is not a true stainless barrel. This is a Cerakoted stainless barrel. This has a 1 1/8 twist, which I like as well. It's a good versatile twist, and you can do a little bit of everything with that twist. The barrel on this is 22 inches long. Again, I like the 22 inches long barrel. That's about standard for these guns, especially in these price range, like the Mossberg Patriot, the Savage Axis, the Ruger American, things like that. The other thing about this has a 13 3/4 inch length of pull, which I really like. It fits me really well. I'm pretty average when it comes to rifle. The average length of pull fits me pretty well. It does not have any kind of adjustment to it. The youth model on this will have an adjustment to the length of pull on there. So overall, you're getting a lot of features in a gun that is I paid $350 for this thing with the Cerakoted barrel. So it's a really nice action-packed, feature-packed gun in this $350 price range. There are some things about it that I will probably be doing in the future. I think I'm going to, depending on, we're going to take the action screws out of this, and we're going to look at how this thing the action is bedded. I probably will go ahead and get some bedding compound and bed the action to this thing, and I may even go ahead and pillar bed this gun as well. It is not pillar bedded, so we're going to see how it sets down in the action. So I may end up doing that. The other thing I may end up doing is I may end up getting rid of this synthetic stock and going ahead and just ordering a Boyd's stock or something like that to go ahead and upgrade that as well. I kind of want a wooden stock on this gun. Now the things that I do like about this gun, I like the trigger, I love the price, I love the barrel and the bolt. Both of those are things that you are not going to find in guns in this price range very often. The accuracy is really good. We'll put in a little short clip here of me shooting this gun and the group that I put up. Now keep in mind too, you'll see me when I'm shooting this off sandbags. I'm not shooting this in any kind of gun vise or any kind of mount or anything like that. I do have one now, but I did not have one at the time. So I'm putting up about 1.25 inch group off of sandbags. I know that I can put up a better group with this thing when I get it locked into a gun vise or a better bench rest to help me improve that. Like I said, overall, I love. There's a lot of things that I love about this gun, and very few things that I do not like about this gun. The accuracy is great, and I think can be easily improved. So let's pull the action screws on this thing, and let's go ahead and see how the bedding is on this thing. Okay, so there's the inside of this stock. You can see here, this is not a fantastic system to hold that action steady. So I do believe that I'm going to go ahead and get a Boyd stock and go ahead and upgrade to that. And when I do that, I'll get some bedding compound and bed the action and go ahead and upgrade it to a set of pillars in here and pillar bed that action. Even with this, I mean, that's about standard for what you're going to get. This is better than what I find on the Savage Axis, and probably not as good as what you find on the Ruger American, but this is a lot cheaper than the Ruger American as well. Now, one thing that did happen when I took this off is the magazine well, there's an insert to the magazine well, and that came out. So, overall, I don't know that I necessarily like that design, that's, you know, is removable, because I don't know how I'm going to put that bedding compound in here. If I do, this piece is going to be in there all the time, which I really don't have a problem with, but I can bed I can't bed it unless I put that piece in there. So I'm basically going to be bedding this removable piece is what I'm going to be doing. So it's gonna be a little bit different than what I've bedded in the past. So I think that's a little bit weird, and that's something that I don't really care for. Up here, I'll probably go ahead and fill this with fiberglass and just glass bed that to stiffen this stock up. Overall, this stock is pretty stiff for a synthetic stock. I mean, compared to the Savage Axis and the Ruger American, it's stiffer than the Axis and probably not as stiff as the Ruger American. So not real impressed with the bedding or with the action mounting here. Not real impressed with the way that magazine well, you know, comes out of there. So I'll have to do some thinking and maybe talk to some people about how to bed that. And I'll probably just go ahead and upgrade it to the Boyd stock. So here's the naked barrel, and you can see on here, pretty simple trigger mechanism on there. It's got the little plunger on there for your trigger. I like those because I can feel my finger and I can feel those push it. Safety mechanism's pretty easy on there. The lug to mount this to your to secure this to your stock is built into this, unlike the Savage where it is, you know, not built in and it actually comes off. The barrel will come off as well. This is a threaded barrel and will come off of there. Again, the action is super smooth. Let's make sure it's clear. And the trigger, oh, got the safety on. The trigger is nice and light and easily adjustable. I have not don't want to get into adjusting the trigger on here because I don't want to show you guys wrong. I didn't actually adjust this trigger down. I had a friend do it when we were at the range because I did not have the tools. But this is a pretty smooth trigger, and overall I really like that. You can see assembly and disassembly of this gun are pretty standard. It's got 2 action screws that go in here, one in the front, one in the back, and that's about all it takes to put this thing together and take it apart. Same way with the bolt. The bolt is really easy to take out. You just pull the trigger, push in a lever on the side, and the barrel will, or the bolt will remove through the back. So pretty standard stuff as far as taking this thing apart and putting it back together. Okay, so you can see there, this Mossberg Patriot is a very good gun at the price. You're going to get a lot of features for a budget gun. And I am finding that this gun is very accurate. Again, I shot it off sandbags when we showed you that little clip. But overall, I'm really happy with the accuracy at 100 yards. I was putting up about 1.25 inch group. And shooting out of something, you know, if I shoot it out of a vise or a bench rest, I know that I'll improve that accuracy down to probably sub MOA. The scope that I put on here also came loose. I didn't like the scope mounts. They ended up coming loose with the recoil, so I'm going to go ahead and swap to different scope mounts, and I may even swap to a different scope. That scope I had on here is a 4 to 12 by 50, and I may pull that back down to a 3 by 9 or 3 to 9 by 40. So I may end up just going ahead and do that. That's what I got on every other gun. It works out just fine for me. So that may be a little bit too much gun for me, or scope for me, but I'm going to go ahead and remount that and reshoot this thing. We'll probably do an update on Facebook and Instagram, just showing you, you know, the new groups with the new scope. But if you can pick this gun up, it's kind of hard to find right now. The Vortex scope that comes with these, I don't have much experience with them. I do have some experience with a Vortex Crossfire 2. I don't know if they put the same scope on these guns or not, because sometimes what you'll get with scoped guns and kit guns are a subpar scope. So I don't know if it is the same Crossfire 2 as what I have, but the Crossfire 2 that I have, again, this is a 4 to 12 by 50, and this is a fantastic scope. It's probably too much scope for this gun, but this is a really, really nice scope, really clear, and just it's just a very good scope overall. So if you get a chance to shoot or to buy one of these guns with the Vortex on there, it may be worth the investment of getting the Vortex 3 to 9 by 40 scope that comes with this gun. Overall, I've got several guns that are in this price range. I've got a Ruger American, I've got a couple Savage Axis, and this is my favorite gun of the 4 that I have. I actually prefer this to my Ruger American. Now I have the Ruger American Predator in 308, and I actually prefer this gun. I really enjoy shooting it, and I really think it's something with a few minor upgrades that I think will be a fantastic gun if I put a Boyd stock on this thing and do a little bit of bedding on it and do some things like that. I'll still have less than $500 in this gun, which is about what I've got in my Ruger American Predator, and I think this will outperform my Ruger American Predator, but we'll put that to the test down the road. So one thing I didn't mention about this gun is I really like the bolt too. I really like the trigger, but I like the bolt because it's close to the gun, but it's big enough that I can actually hit it with my palm, and I can feel it with my palm, and when it disengages, it's a nice solid bolt. It's a nice solid action, and it feels really good. When I come up to chamber another round, it's there and I feel it. So I really like that bolt on this. That's probably my favorite bolt of the 4 guns that I own. So check this out. This is the Mossberg Patriot, and again, mine is in 6.5 Creedmoor. with the stainless steel barrel and the synthetic stock. So check this out. Very good gun for the money. I do not think you'll be disappointed with it. If you want to see the progress of this gun as we make little tweaks to it, check us out on Instagram and Facebook under Ike's Outdoors. And if you would, please like, subscribe, and share these videos. And if you like the gun reviews, put a comment down below. Like I said, I don't plan on doing a whole bunch of these gun reviews. I just wanted to put a gun review out there on this Patriot because I couldn't really find one that really helped me in my decision to buy this gun. So I wanted to put this out there to help you with your decision if you're looking at the Mossberg Patriot. So definitely give this gun a look. I think it's going to be a fantastic gun, and I think this is going to be the gun that I am going to hunt with this year. I've got a 25-06, a 308, and a 223, but I think this 6.5 Creedmoor is going to be the one to go to the woods with me this year and put a buck on the ground. So please be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and we appreciate you guys watching these videos. And please be sure to leave a comment below if you would like to see more gun reviews, more firearm reviews, or some videos of us at the range. So we will see you next time, and I appreciate you guys watching.